Even though we had no customers for 6 months, we still decided to grow the bar. And my mom was like, we need more pots and more succulents and more goodies. Until eventually, one day, I made a social media video and I posted it and I paid for a little bit of advertising. And since I paid for that little bit of advertising, people just started coming in. And our sales went from 0 to over 300,000 in 8 months of advertising. We have like the coolest customers in the world. They love to make their little plant.
All right, it's 8 o'clock on Wednesday morning local time, and that means wherever you are in the United States, it's time for 1 Million Cups. So you're in Albuquerque, check in, point your phone at that QR code. If you check in on 3 different occasions, you'll get the pen. And if you check in on 6 different occasions, you'll get the coveted 1 Million Cups notebook. So please check in. That helps the Kaufman Foundation know that we are an active chapter, which we certainly are. Okay, this is our mission. Entrepreneurship is a difficult and lonely journey. And the mission of 1 Million Cups is to assist entrepreneurs in that journey, providing access to education, resources, and connection for all new and aspiring entrepreneurs in the United States. And how do we accomplish that? There's a national and a local mission. The national mission is supported by the Kaufman Foundation, which provides training for the organizers and a framework for how to prepare presenters. So there's a consistent program from one chapter of 1 Million Cups to another in the almost 200 chapters across the United States. If you were to drop in at any of these locations, you wouldn't know any of the people, but you'd recognize the formats and the questions pretty much the same. So this is the Southwest. We are the only chapter in New Mexico, making us the most successful chapter in New Mexico. These other chapters are also active. There's a regional rep that keeps us on track and tells us we're one of the shining stars of the Southwest, which we knew, but it's great to get validation. All right, here's the key pillars of 1 Million Cups. These are presentations, not pitches. In a pitch, your company is kind of airbrushed. What can I say? It doesn't really have any problems except lack of money. And if the people you're pitching to would simply write the big check, you're going to ring the opening bell on the NASDAQ in 18 months, right? And we know that's not true, right? Everybody here who's running a company does not have that internal view. And so the function of 1 Million Cups is to allow you to get up here and say, look, there's stuff that I don't know how to do. There's stuff I'm stuck on. Can you help? And in this room right now, there's a tremendous range of expertise and experience that you can draw on. And so that's why you should do a 1 Million Cups presentation. We're interested in authentic connections, not networking. It's not a contest to see how many business cards you could pass out in 1 minute. We're trying to make connections that you make over time. And over the years that I've been involved in Million Cups, we've brought people into our company from relationships that we've developed over time in this setting. So I encourage you to talk to people you don't know and look around for the help that you need. We're run for the community, by the community. All of our organizers are volunteers. We're not masochistic altruists. We get a lot out of being volunteers, and we can talk more about that at length if you want to talk to me about it. We want everyone to be involved. So we're radically and intentionally inclusive. All kinds of people, all kinds of entrepreneurs, and all kinds of businesses. From mom and pop brick and mortar operations to whiteboard companies that might have a little bit of external funding, to companies that are on the way, all the way to these tentpole companies that don't really need anything from us, but are here to show us how it's done. So everybody's welcome here. And we like to keep it friendly and educational. So there are times when somebody might say something publicly that you sharply disagree with, and that might be a time to take advantage of the occasion to keep your opinion to yourself. Otherwise, you should talk to people about things you know about and try to find out things they know about. And sooner or later, one of you is going to help the other person either directly or by introducing them to someone that they need to know. So you don't have to go on this journey alone. This is a safe place. You can talk about your challenges and get the help that you need. So let's roll up our sleeves and get to work. Oh, by the way, you should apply to present. So if you have a for-profit business defined as a company that sells goods or services for more than it costs to produce them, you should present. So talk to any one of the organizers, and we'll set you up with a coach and get you on the track to give a presentation. These are, wow, this is getting crowded. Here we're gonna have to use smaller pictures. I'm Paul Sutter. This is our organizing team. Lisa Atkins, who's not here today. Eric Renz Whitmore, who is. Danielle. And Adam, who's here, right? And Sonia, who's probably online. And Keiko and Oscar, who are lurking somewhere online. So talk to any of us about presenting, and we'll show you how easy it is. And we're gonna do our best to make you look your best. We also thank our sponsors, Fat Pipe, our sponsor for, what is it? Coming up on 10 years, 9 years? 9 years. So we're entering our 10th year, you know, and we wouldn't have been able to do it without Fat Pipe. Jason Collins Photography, always making us look good. More than organized, hiding under the video there, organizing your stuff, your thoughts, and providing creamer. Foundation for Sustainable Living, our coffee sponsor. Noventum Custom Software Development, great software that works, and donuts that work too. Minuteman Press, putting ink on paper for all of your communication needs. And those are our sponsors. Please thank them. All right, so thank you for joining us, and we'll kick it off. You, Coach Zinkstown. Thank you.
All right. So the presenter today is a lovely gal. She has been working on her business for a while and coming, and I've been enjoying talking to her. She told me to tell you that she's awesome and just really rocks. But she is really neat. She's got some fun stuff going, and I'm just some great energy. She can come on up right now.
Oh.
So that when I hand it off, it'll look more smooth. So just a great story, and I'm really excited about what you're presenting and your questions.
Thanks.
So you can go that way and that way and see if it works on this particular presentation thing.
Hello. So my name is Hillary Zinks. Ever since I was a kid, all I wanted to really do is make people happy. And so I thought maybe I would do that with like acting or comedy. Never did I think I would be able to do it through entrepreneurship. So this is really crazy to me until now. So I have an enchanting little shop called Zinkstown. So it's, as you can see, it's a beautiful, colorful, immersive space that really inspires creativity and mindfulness. And after 3 years of isolation, I think all of our communities could really use some human connection. So have you ever heard of a magical succulent bar? Well, neither had I, so I created one. And how does it work? First of all, guests come in, they get to pick a pot and a succulent, and then they get to make a wish, and then they get to plant their succulent. And we have sucky babes who kind of guide you through this entire process. It's really enchanting and magical. And then they get to decorate. After that, they get to go home with a really beautiful manifestation tool where they can literally see their wish or the manifestation grow. And they turn out a little bit like this. We have all different types of pots and everything, but you may be wondering how I got here. Well, my story begins a few years ago when I had to escape an abusive ex-husband, and I left him with zero money and traveled across the world, or country, I guess, and I was couch surfing on my brother's house with my mom. And we finally saved up enough money. I worked as a makeup artist to kind of move out. And my mom found this really cool place that was a live work space, and it had a storefront. So we got it. And just a few little moments after we got it, this huge pandemic hit. And I was going to turn it into my special effects workshop for makeup. But when the pandemic hit, I had no job anymore. So we kind of had to pivot. And I took a job as a nanny to kind of supplement us and help us survive through the pandemic. And once the pandemic was slowing down, I came back to my shop, and I kind of had to figure out what we were going to do with that space with no money and no business loans, and actually no business plan. So we came up with art, and we figured that we could have a bunch of artists come in, and we could have a funky little art gallery, and I could start a business with no loans. So we did that, and when the space was about ready, just about a week before it was ready, I decided that I really wanted to have something that was interactive in my shop. So I thought about the idea of a tiny little succulent bar where people got to pick out a plant in a pot and then go home with like a little piece of art. And I said to myself, that's really cute and all, but it's not special. So how do I make it special? And that's what I thought about the magic. And that's why I think it's really cool. You get to make a wish with your plant. You have a physical representation of a manifestation, and you get to see it grow. So even though I came up with this idea, we had our grand opening and nobody did it. Nobody gave it even a second look. And it was, like I said, it was the size of a 6-foot table at my front window. And I thought the idea was a flop. However, even though we had no customers for 6 months, we still decided to grow the bar. And my mom was like, we need more pots and more succulents and more goodies. And so even though we had 0 customers, we kept growing the idea. Until eventually, one day, I made a social media video and I posted it and I paid for a little bit of advertising. And since I paid for that little bit of advertising, people just started coming in. And our sales went from 0 to over 300,000 in 8 months of advertising. We have like the coolest customers in the world. They love to make their little plant. And anyways, it was seemingly like overnight success. We did come up with some issues. And let me see. Problems started to kind of arise within. So unfortunately, I actually have no management experience and no business experience, nothing. I just kind of winged it my whole life, to be honest. I started to have lots of dramas with my employees and lost all of them one by one. After that, I had a stream of bad luck, and it seemed like I would wake up and something worse would happen almost every single day over and over again for 3 months. And now I think I finally am on the upswing, even though our Instagram got hacked. That was like 90% of our business too. Our revenue from the months before had been cut in half after our Instagram was hacked. And I got really depressed about all these things, but I feel like things are finally back to normal. And we took off so quickly that I didn't even have a moment to think about like employee handbooks or code of conducts, or even have my employees sign anything in paper. Like for instance, when I first hired them, I didn't even know how to do payroll or set up any of that. So I was paying them as contractors. I'm completely learning as I go. And if a problem arises, I try to address it like as quickly as possible and as professional as possible. And another problem came about when my literal neighbors stole my idea and parked across the street, and they're doing the same thing now. I'm not really worried about them, but I do need to know if there's like a way I can protect my idea. It is a step-by-step process. It's not like an invention or anything. And I'm also ready to expand. So I'm kind of curious too if I should, because I've opened this up with 0 business loans, just paycheck to paycheck. If I should look for a loan, if I should look for investors, or maybe just wait till I have cash flow to keep expanding. So there you go. Does anybody have any questions?
So, Walk, thank you. Good job.
Thank you.
So, yeah, if you come on up, you'll stand right over here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then folks will come up, and I'm going to move this little star here. Go ahead and line up over here when you come here to present. And if you have any feedback or any further questions you want to ask her, then this is the time.
Well, don't be shy. Hello.
Hello, I'm Danielle with Conscious Crossroads End of Life Services. First off, good for you. I mean, seriously, brave as all get out.
Thank
Like just
you.
going in and doing it. Like there may have been mistakes along the way and you'll figure that stuff out, but seriously, I'm super proud of you. It's huge. And to step outside of your comfort zone and come up with something that's new and innovative and fun. Do you do parties at all?
Yes.
Okay, tell us about that a little bit, please.
Oh, okay, so we do private parties before and after business hours, also on closed days. We also do mobile parties too. And actually this week I'm gonna buy a bus and we're gonna have a sucky bus ready to go for mobile parties. It's gonna be the magical sucky bus. So it's gonna be really exciting. It might take like a month to get up, but yeah. All right, parties are a lot of fun. Let me know if you want to book one.
Hello, my name is Jonathan Griffith. I relocated from Austin. I owned a business development firm. And I love what you've done here. You said something, but I don't know if you see this or whatnot, but you went through that hardship and you found a way to incorporate that to give like a physical representation. If you're looking for income, there's a lot of treatment centers in Mexico, all right? And these people are going through struggles, okay? So they're having something huge in their life. I think that if you're looking to like generate income and stuff like that, you should reach out to these treatment centers, discuss how you can relate to these people. You yourself went through this hardship. You're having this like metaphor of growth and development or whatnot through your wishes. And I think a great way to do is you can build contracts, and in those contracts, they'll pay you a certain amount of money. And in that, you can go and work with people who are actually seeing this. So this could also go a long way with those people. And I know there's street incentives in Taos, there's a bunch here in town. I think that could be a great market base because those people, insurance, they make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yes, so if you reach out to that and these people are physically going through something and you just kind of relate to that, I think that could be a great source of like maybe possibly income or revenue. And then on top of that, you're really like reaching out and being like, hey, this is what it's a symbol for them. You're giving them hope. So, yeah, I appreciate this and I love it.
Thank you so much.
So first of all, really incredible. I heard you and had a similar experience as you when I started my business, kind of exponential growth within the first few months, which led to insane level of having to deliver, breaking down, having to team leaving, all that stuff. Same as what you were saying. There's a few things that I wanted to mention. So first of all, what I do is I'm a fractional CMO, so I'm a CMO for multiple companies essentially. And marketing is kind of where I sit in systems and processes. So I would say, first of all, for being here, that's incredible. But the main thing that I would recommend is, I'm not sure if you read the book Email. If you haven't, it's incredible. It has pretty much everything that one needs to know about systemizing. So creating a system for delivery in a predictable way. And the same goes in the marketing side of it. So do you have currently one kind of offer that you make that predictably makes you revenue?
What do you mean offer?
So you're doing a bus now, I heard. You do
Yeah.
parties, you do all these things. Is there one that you go in and you make repeatedly and predictably money from?
Yeah, the shop is open 5 days a week. So yeah, every week we're making money just from the succulent bar at the shop.
Is that the main driver? Okay. So what I would say is, until your whatever the core offer is, if that's that bar, until that's driving as much revenue as you want it or it can do, I would focus most of your efforts on driving people to that one core offering. Now, if you find that there's a person or a type of avatar persona that you think would be more valuable, meaning less headache, more fun, and more money, then I would say find what caters to them, then focus on that until it generates predictably money. And once you have that, scale that, and then move on to other types of ways to increase your offering from that point.
Okay.
So it's like a focus on that one at a time, what we call growth engines. So like that, this is my money engine. Now I'll create another one for this product, another one for the party bus, another one for the whatever it may be. But full focus on one area can create a lot of growth that's going to be sustainable and predictable. So
Okay.
that's just one thing to keep in mind. And EMIT for the systemizing part, I think you'll love it.
Yeah, I will look into that. EMIT,
Yes.
EMIT.
All right.
Thank you so much.
My name is Jason Burnett from Crest Leaders. I wanted to jump on Miriam's comments on the chat as well. But just like, what are you doing to develop yourself as the CEO, as the leader of your organization? Take you through not just the revenue streams and the parties and the buses and all that kind of stuff, but like how to actually run the business.
Wow. Not much.
Yes.
I don't know. Okay, so I just hired a manager who has tons of years experience in actual retail. So right now I'm using her to help develop me and make a system. But I am looking for other educational opportunities to become a CEO. Because right now I just feel like an owner of a little shop, not like a boss CEO. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. So spending the time on developing there, I know there's tons of resources. Jeff is online as well from CNN. They've got programs there.
Okay.
West is just down the street, specifically for women-owned businesses. They're kind of looking for some of those things in town that are developing that business side.
Yes, I worked with Weston a little bit, but I got too crazy busy. I need to get back to them.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. very
Thank
good.
you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, so we got online Miriam.
Hello. I love your idea. I love that you just jumped in and made it work. And like most entrepreneurs, especially that open some sort of little shop or enterprise, you don't have the systems in place. And so when you do have success, it kind of falls apart. And what Jason's recommendations were fantastic. I do also think spending some time to work on your own mindset, like visioning, manifesting your own, what do you want the business to actually be, will be a great starting point for you as well. Because right now you're just kind of chasing what happens instead of creating it, which may or may not be pulling you out of alignment with what your business is actually teaching the people that come to your classes. So that would be my suggestion, but I'm excited. I'm going to come buy some succulents.
Oh, yeah, come do the experience. You're gonna love it. It's really, really fun. It's really fun. I highly recommend.
Cool.
Annie, I
Thank
think you're
you.
next, if you want to unmute.
Quick question. Can you give a kind of a synopsis of the bar menu that you have? Is it available online? Can we see it?
Of the menu, so we don't have like a menu. It's basically here's how it breaks down. You come in, you pick your pot, and we have a huge pot selection, and then you pick your succulents. And then we sit you down at a little table, and then we kind of give you service with our sucky babes. And you get to make your wish, and then you put it at the bottom of your pot, 'cause you get to bury it. And then you get to pick magical crystals and flowers that all complement your wish, that will help your wish grow. Then you get to plant, and then you get to decorate. So the bar is just a bunch of decorations, and it is what it is. I can just shop for things around town, online. If I find anything cute that I could put in a pot, I'll buy it. So it's always changing, and could be anything from some skull heads to butterflies to just colored sand.
So there's not a basic package, a premier package, or that kind of menu, if you will, right? Because
No, you
you're
just-
obviously custom creating all of this. I would imagine there would be a basic, and then there would be a, Better Homes and Garden, I don't know, right? Some kind of fun naming convention, if you will, to sort of package it, no?
So
Trying to
you just,
understand, that's all.
the price of the pot includes everything. There are some add-ons at the decoration bar, and that'll be like the miniatures, but basically just the price of the pot is in the entire experience.
Okay, thank you.
So it makes it really easy for guests.
Hi, Hillary.
Hi.
We informally met on Craigslist 2 years ago, but I never heard back from you. But that's okay. No, she had an ad for like, have a call for artists for my shop.
Oh.
And so, but anyway, it's so funny. I have 3 little kind of boutique jobs that I do. I'm Amazing Life Works for my sound and sound bath therapy, but I also do like little remodeling projects. And if you want to like turn your bus into like an amazing like escape, I can help you do that.
Yes, I do want to turn it into an amazing escape.
And the other thing is I want to come by and see your shop, because I got a download like a week ago, and I was thinking, whatever happened to that lady Hillary with the Zinks place? I'm serious. It's like
That's so weird.
it's so funny. And then here you are presenting. So I just want to congratulate you
Thank you.
on your success and everything you're doing. I just think it's amazing. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We've got somebody online first. Alan, do you want to go ahead?
I wanted to follow on what Miriam talked about. And sounds like that some of your success has been luck, which is wonderful, but luck is kind of hard to replicate. And the other admission you made, that you don't know anything about running a business and you're starting to learn how to be a CEO, concerns me. And so I'd like to just introduce a couple of thoughts. And one of them is the word intention. Just as a general rule, that everything that you do in your business should be done with intention, which means you think it out. You essentially play chess with the idea, and you play the moves out, and you try to anticipate the problems, understanding that it's pretty impossible to anticipate everything, But if you have a mindset that I'm going to really think this through and I'm going to find the intention in the idea, then you give yourself a better chance of succeeding. One of my personal rules is everything I do or say either helps me or hurts me. And if I can't figure out how it helps me, then by definition, it hurts me and I don't do it or I don't say it. For instance, this idea of the bus really concerns me. Buses, vehicles out on the street bring all kinds of other issues. They bring insurance issues and liability issues, and they bring security issues. And I would hope that you've thought through each and every one of those things so that you give yourself a better chance to succeed. One of the challenges in life is not every idea is an opportunity. Some of them become traps. And unfortunately, they don't have a sign in front of them say, don't go here, this is a trap. They all say, this is an opportunity. And particularly if it's bright and shiny and it's a fun idea and you like it, that's when you really need to take a step back and think it through. And it's really good to have, hopefully this manager that you're bringing on is someone who will be comfortable telling you no. All great leaders need people around them who will tell them no. The worst thing you need is someone who's saying, every time you say something, that's a wonderful idea, let's go do it. Because now you're just chasing thoughts. And I mean, I think you have a wonderful energy about you and you have passion, and those two no one can give you. So you bring that to the party. What you're missing, of course, is depth of knowledge about the detail, and you can acquire that. It just takes a lot of work. But just if I leave you with anything, I'll just leave you with that thought about intention. Do everything you do with intention. Don't do anything because you thought it was a good idea at the moment, because it may be and it may not be. And then you become an accidental business, and you want to be an on-purpose business and a purposeful business. So I hope those thoughts have been helpful, and I just wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Rosemary Prinz. I'm an artist, and congratulations. It's terrific that you accomplished this. I did have a suggestion. I was in Walgreens of all places yesterday, and I saw these photographs on metal plates, life-size bases. And I thought, what a good idea. People have both their succulent that they take out with them, but then you could also sell them. You could document, take photographs of them working on it with their kids or whomever, document it. And then you can show them options of the different photographs you took, and you can print them onto those metal plates and sell those. And then they not only have succulent to take away with them, but actual visual memory of them working on the succulent.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea, but maybe you have lots of good ideas and now you just have to kind of get focused. But anyway, down the road, you might think about that.
Yeah, thank you. I like that.
I'm Julie Morel with Urban Mama 505 Kombucha, and I've been blessed to be at your shop.
Oh,
and
yeah.
have a pop up and do the kombucha.
Hello again.
So congratulations. And the only added bit that I wanted to add is it is completely possible. You can believe and learn what you need to learn for the systems for that business. It is not unreachable. It is not rocket science. It is just because you and I share that same passion, personality, vibrancy. And I kind of think of it as selling popsicles to, ketchup popsicles to Eskimos. But we have the ability and the intelligence to grow in the places where we might have a weakness at the beginning. I can testify to that because it's happened for me. And it is all to do with our mindfulness, right?
Yeah.
It has to do with what the gentleman was talking about with intention and the belief and where exactly you want to go. So I think all of the things that were said today are so important about the goal setting and having a specific point of reference, what you want to achieve. But I am completely available if you need any mentoring or accountability partners. I think accountability partners are the best things because you can do it. You absolutely can do it. You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, thank you guys. And we have 2 final questions for you.
Oh, okay,
All right.
what is it? What is it?
So the first one is red or green.
Oh, green by far, come on.
And then how can this community help you?
Well, you guys have already been so helpful today, but I would love to also connect with everybody and, just have more. You guys have so much insight. And I'm just, I was right. It was an accidental business, but now it's a purposeful business. And I feel like I know what I'm doing and I'm on the right track. So help me turn my accident into my big baby.
Well, now it's opened up to time when we have an activity often. And we are thinking that what we could do, actually, we haven't discussed this yet. So this is us making, oh, do you already have something?
Go for it.
Okay. So we have a couple new people as far as I can tell, but I haven't been here the last 2 weeks. So if anyone has not come up and said hi yet, I'd like you to come on up here, same place that other people have been talking, and introduce yourselves. So how many people do we have who's new? All right, great. Come on up and right here. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna tell your name. You don't have to have a business going. You can be just an interested person, but just introduce yourself and say hi. And you can talk to the camera here. You can talk to the audience, whatever you like. You can stand on the star or step over here further. Come on up.
My name is Antonio. I'm currently a manager at Costco. So on Eubank, if you go shop, you guys might have seen me. My wife actually has started a catering business a couple of years ago. And so we're just kind of trying to grow it as we go. It's been a lot of fun, and I wanted to come and meet some of you guys, and it seems like a good opportunity. So I'm really happy to be here.
Which Costco?
The one on Eubank. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jonathan Griffith. I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico. I recently relocated from Austin. I've been gone for the last 10 years. Out in Austin, I developed a business development firm and consulting service. And I'm passionate about people, creativity, ideas. And if you can find that like your thing, I'm a man, and I would love to work with you guys. Like, I'd love to see people's dreams come true, especially when they're meaningful. And yeah.
I'm Chuck Holman, and I'm just an old guy that's just trying to stay active and stay out of the nursing home. And I figure the best way to do that is stay active, stay around young people. And I've been working on helping the homeless get off the street. So about 5 years ago, I started doing that. And I just wrote a book, 7 Steps to Ending Homelessness. And I just met with Carol Pierce on Zoom yesterday. And we're just doing our best to help these people before they get homeless. Some things we can do to help them there, because some don't have way to pay rent and all that. But then the people on the street, I'm working with some people to develop homes so they can come into the home and have a bed. We help them get a job and help them get off the street and onto a step-by-step process. As an Oxford House International, been around 47 years, and we're mimicking them. They're very successful in having $4 million, $500,000 houses in town. They have 11. They have about 8, 9, 10 people in each home, and the people pay about $20, $25 a day rent, which is about $600, $700 a month. And so it's a win-win for everybody. And when they're we can help them get jobs. $14 an hour, make about $112 a day, and the rent's only $25 a day. So I'm just working with a lot of people to coordinate that and help people do that. And then I used to be a wealth transfer practitioner before I retired in 2017. And nobody's ever heard of that. I was the only one in Mexico. And it was pretty neat. But I found a group 3.5 years ago that helps people pay off a 30-year mortgage in 8 to 10 years, then take that money and put it into retirement. And over a 10, 20-year period, it's just a phenomenal program. So I sort of share that knowledge with people too. And I'm just trying to stay active and have a lot of experience and like to share with you guys. Thank you.
Hello, I am Amy Johnson. I'm an artist, multimedia, but I'm a potter and basically I've wanted my whole life to help people. I've done all kinds of caretaking and studio management, and I'm the artist in residence at Julie's Kombuchery right now, which is awesome. So yeah, I'm just kind of really working on honing in on my intention, and since I'm a visionary, like, you know, paring things down, and I've never been to one of these before, and it's really good to be introduced to it. I have an entrepreneurial side, but I'm just kind of really at the second, kind of doing the second book of my life. And I've been writing the past like 5 years, and I'm trying to move away from the keyboard and actually make stuff again and kind of find my place. So
What kind of writing?
My memoir and family stuff and healing stuff. I almost lost my leg when I was 19. So a lot of just kind of I'm into the delving really deep and mysticism and yeah, stuff like that, if that makes any sense. So
Yeah, thank you.
yeah.
Okay, so that's something we often do at this point. We're gonna have events in a moment. So if anyone has an event they know is coming up, have that in your head. But first of all, one of the things I really enjoy hearing about is how people are like making things happen. So if anyone has something that's like a big like win in their world, right? So I've got a small one myself, and it could be a small one, it could be a big one. And I've been doing a vlog, and I've just been sort of babbling on screen for a while, and it wasn't too much. And I got one edited recently, and I actually published one that's edited. And it's kind of corny and not actually that great, but it's been done. All right. So for me, that was so if anyone else has like a win or something they'd like to shout out about they know someone else did, come on up. Yeah. I see people like hopping up. You don't have to wait. You get up over here, you line up on either side, since the passageway is not the best. Okay.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, I'm Dr. Norm Dawson, and my business is drnormsconnections.com, and I'm in the dementia defense business. I'm a professional speaker, and I do speaking engagements around town on how to that's the wrong word, how to reduce the risk of developing dementia, with hearing loss being the #1 biggest risk. I'll be doing a seminar at the Fairwinds in Rio Rancho on September 6th at 1:30. So I'm trying to educate not only the residents, because some residents are there because they're just older, but they also have family and friends. So if you want to find out what you can do to reduce the risk of developing dementia and the 12 modifiable risks, and also hear a personal story from me. I've been deaf for 2/3 of my life, and I can share how I got through that. At 75 years old, I do not have dementia. I'm so glad we're in St. Louis.
Yeah, you want to go ahead and go and do yourself?
Sorry, I didn't hear if you were calling on me.
Sorry, go ahead.
Right. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Jeff Bargel. I'm the program director for entrepreneurship at St. Ingenuity. So one of the big wins I wanted to celebrate for all of us is that yesterday we had Startup Fiesta. These are our events that we do about every quarter. And yesterday was another fantastic one. For the Activate NM team, we were at Chatter ABQ and we heard 30 minutes from Kulmeet Singh. He's the founder of Twistle, and he sold Twistle for founded it here and sold it for a couple of years ago for over 100 million. So we had a lot of fantastic advice from him. We also had micro pitches from food startups from the South Valley Economic Development Center, and we got to eat all their amazing food. So it was another fantastic event, and I encourage everybody just to look for the next Startup Fiesta because they are free and open to the public and a lot of really good fun time. We talked about events a little bit. I just wanted to mention a couple of them. Adventure Pitch applications open on September 7th. So if you are involved at all in outdoor recreation in any stretch of the imagination as you can define outdoor recreation, we welcome you to pitch for that. This is the second annual adventure pitch. Also, we're offering free headshots for Albuquerque small businesses and startups at the next City of Albuquerque Small Business Resource Fair. It'll be on September 11th at the Ted Gallegos building. And you can, I will share some links for that stuff in the chat here in a minute, Eric. And all those are open on activatenm.com on the events page. So thank you. Oh, and I also want to mention to Chuck, if you didn't see my link there, check out New Mexico New. The term they're using there is new elder. I didn't invent that term. That came from the founder of the program, who herself is a new elder, for the 50 to 7-year-old crowd, to engage them in lots of activities like the things you're talking about. It could be a great way, if you're looking for more volunteers for things you're working with, to engage with other folks that are already engaged with the New Mexico New group. Oh, Jeff out.
So a little bit of a success thing for me. I'm John Patrick. You heard me talking to Zinka earlier. I have an art and lighting installation I'm developing for a client who's been a very good client of mine. I'm very excited about that project. And it's also part of my renewed thing about plugging into Albuquerque and getting all my work going. I got to meet Nora Mia yesterday at the event that Jeff was talking about. Those Activate events are amazing. Nora's one of the directors of the Deep Dive program that I got the $10,000 scholarship. I'll be starting my class in October for developing an invention for one of my businesses. So I just really want to share coming to this group and how important, like, meeting the people here. And, they talk about, relationships, and it's not just networking and passing out business cards. And that's really, really true, because there are so many people in this community that are willing to help you. And I wouldn't be on this path that I'm on if it wasn't for my friend Adam over here, kind of getting me started and saying, go to the Fuse Makerspace, and, and connecting the dots. So anyways, I look forward to sharing more successes and seeing the things develop as it goes. And thank you to 1 Million Cups. You guys are awesome.
Hi, everyone. My name's Athena Christodoulou, and my big success happened last week. I bought a Tesla Y and went car camping in it and enjoyed it. Did you know Tesla has a camp mode, so you can stay in your car, get fresh air, and at a nice, comfortable temperature? I enjoyed the outdoors, and maybe that's my next thing, is to lead other people to go some car camping, right?
I don't know if I'm going to call this a personal success. It was actually from Jeff's presentation, and Danielle said I should share it. The presentation yesterday was, as Jeff said, a person who just sold a company for $100 million. He also sold 2 other companies before that. And as I was listening to it, he said something. He says, well, success is, skill plus luck. And what I reflected on was my girlfriend actually told me, was describing my sister, and I said, she's a very lucky person. She says, your sister makes her luck. Listening to that presentation was like a discussion on things this man did to make his own luck. Things like building relationships, being honorable, protecting his family and friends who are his investors. It was just a long discussion about how to build luck. And I think that if I guess what I want to take away here is, well, first, first Startup Fiesta is an amazing thing to go to. You should all go to them. Next ones, I'm sure there'll be ones just around the corner. But the other thing is you listen to some of the folks that are successful, listen to things, the strategies that aren't like, I did this to get money from this person, or I did this to make this, but strategies that connected him with the community and created opportunities for luck, created like a work environment where people would, when things were going bad, dig in and get them through it. And that's what I just wanted to take away. And it's kind of like a gift for me, I guess, in a way, the win of just seeing that all, like just one after another, things he did to build his own luck.
So as I said, I'm Rosemary Prinz and I'm an artist. And I feel very fortunate in that I received an invitation to go to an artist residency in Guadalajara, Mexico for 3 months. And that'll be November, December, and January. And I was in New Mexico for the first time in many, many years last winter, and I have to say I'm glad I'm escaping the winter, but that's not why I'm going. I am going to work on a project about missing and murdered Indigenous women. They're going to be helping me on the project. That's part of our deal. And I need everybody here and everybody you know who can contribute to this project, not with money, but with your old x-rays. Many of us have had x-rays over the years, and you take them to the medical profession now and they laugh at you because they don't even have the equipment to read them. So they're just sitting around collecting dust. Please give them to me. I'll pick them up. I'll pay for the shipping, whatever it takes. But I need x-rays for this project. And when I finish the project, I'm having an exhibition in Guadalajara, and then I hope to exhibit it here in New Mexico. And so then you'll see how I have utilized your x-rays. So that's one thing. And I have a business card here, so you can get in touch with me. I still haven't gotten the proper business cards, but this will give you the address. You can get in touch with me. And while I have your attention, I have an open studio on Sunday as part of Knob Hill first Sunday stroll. So please come. The address is on my card. And also the weekend of the 16th and 17th of September, I am teaching cold wax painting and mixed media workshop 2 days at Harwood Art Center. And I'll leave these right here on the table. Thank you.
Oh, no, one more.
Yeah. Looking at the dates.
Oh, got an event?
I've got 2 events. I'm Barbara Dawson with Purple Mulch, and I teach a course called Authentic Communication. Sometimes I tag on the end of it, the sales process for for people that are trying to figure out, how do I do sales? Sometimes it's authentic communication. How do I communicate better? So I'm going to be doing a couple of courses with the Arts Hub. Several of you are artists here, and maybe you are familiar with the Arts Hub. The first one is October 4th from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock, and that'll be at Cachette. Dance Company is what it used to be called, but it's at Cachette. And the other one is November. It's part of their fellowship program on the 11th, which is a Saturday from 1 to 3. So check with the Albuquerque Arts Hub to see how to get registered for those courses. And I hope to see you there. Barbara Dawson with Purple Mulch.
We got so many minutes. We still got 45 minutes. Just really quickly. Hi, my name is Eric Prinz Whitmore. I'm one of the organizers. They also work for the city of Santa Fe. One of the things we do on a monthly basis is do like resource webinars. And I'm not sure if people in the room know that the state has made available a big bag of funding for people who need collateral to help match or help come up with the collateral to get a loan. It's called the Collateral Assistance Program from State Economic Development. We're doing a webinar on, let's see, next Tuesday. No, is it next Tuesday? I don't know. It's on September 7th. We're going to be doing a webinar with that featuring New Mexico Economic Development Department. We'll also have the loan fund to talk about how the process works from getting a loan to, if you need help with the collateral side of things, to actually getting the funding you need in order to grow your business. So, and I'll share that through the 1 Million Cups channels. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Paul Sauter, founder and chief scientific officer of Equiseek. We are an equine services company for people who want better horses. I'm also a survivor of the Arrowhead Tech Sprint, and I'd like to announce an event that they're having. So on October 26th at Electric Playhouse, the Arrowhead Center will be having a Scale Up New Mexico startup pitch competition. The application deadline is September 25th. You can talk to me, I can direct you to the application. And the idea is companies that are in market and are getting ready to scale. And I really encourage you to apply for this. The Arrowhead program has a tremendous stable of advisors and resources, and for companies that have advanced to being in market and are looking to scale, there's really no substitute for that in New Mexico. So talk to me if you're interested in participating. And I can't recommend them highly enough. The only general piece of advice I could give to everybody is if you like yourself the way you are, don't start a company.
All right. So once a month, we have a leadership series here at Fat Pipe. And so the last Thursday of this month on the 28th, we'll be continuing that. We had a great conversation last Thursday, looking at different kinds of self-check-in tools and things like that. So this next month, in September, we're going to be talking more about how to challenge your team and how to work with your team and delegate in a team environment. So there's flyers around for that. A few more of these through the end of the year. We'd love to have you join us. It's free, lunchtime. Bring your lunch here, noon to 1, the 28th of September.
And I'm Julie Morrell with Urban Mama 505 Kombucha. I'm double fisted. So I do have a win. We were put on tap in Santa Fe. It's our first tap in Santa Fe at Boxcar. So everybody, if you're up at Boxcar, definitely request the Urban Mama 505 Kombucha. We appreciate that support. And as far as events going, it's blossoming there at the Kombuchery. We are there at US Route 66 on Central and 10th. And we have our first yoga early morning intention class. Afrolytics is putting it on September 13th. It'll kick it off on Wednesday mornings at 7 a.m. And it does include the Kangen alkalized water, which we are distributors of and make our kombucha with, as well as kombucha and a morning yoga practice. I hope all you early birds will come and join us. And then the following evening on Thursday, September 14th, we have our first art lab. And we've had many people here discussing art. And this is a discussion between 6 and 9 where you can come in with your anything artistic, whether it be music, a piece, a word, whatever you have, and there's just a Socratic discussion and discussion about your pieces and reflection on those things. So those are some of the things we have coming up. Come and see me at the Kombuchery. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Andres. I hang out here at Fat Pipe, and on Fridays we realized nobody's really here that often, and so I was thinking, why not offer headshots on Fridays? I'm a photographer. We talked about doing headshots after this event, 1 Million Cups. There's so many people, and it's just can be a little daunting for someone to stand in front of the camera. But if you sign up for headshots via my link, there's a link over on this television screen, also at the kitchen.
Can I put it in the chat?
And it's in the chat. You can use your camera to get the QR code. You can sign up for headshots on Fridays, and they're 20 to 30-minute headshots. If you bring a buddy, it's cheaper. And if you sign up via the link, you save a little too. So talk to me afterwards or sign up if you'd like. Thank you so much. Do you have any events left on there that we haven't said?
Speaking of headshots, looks like Activate NM has some on September 11th from 4 to 7 at the Ted Gallegos Community Center. I also put that link up in the chat. And then it looks like we've got a Founders Syndicate event on September 6th at the Roadrunner Ventures Studios at Glorietta Station at 4 p.m.
Great.
That's it.
That's it.
Oh, and the Tech Summit, September 7th and 8th.
All right. Thanks, Laura. And then please give Laura a hand for doing our text too. All right, usually we end with a rousing comment, so we're gonna come here and have Paul give us a rousing comment.
Okay, well, sometimes it's inspiring and sometimes I just dig out something that's happened in the past week. So, in the past week, I was visited by the lead scientist at our patent licensee, Generatio in Germany. And I want to tell this story because of the power of relationships. So when we first started marketing our tests, this German genetic testing company that did genetic testing of animals sent me an email and said, you know, we're potentially interested in licensing your IP and doing these tests in Europe. We had a couple of emails. And then finally we arranged for a phone call and we started talking. And Melissa says, tell me how you got into this business. And I started talking about the opportunity. She says, no, tell me about your background. And I gave her, you know, the academic stuff. And I'm like, okay. And then I was at the Jackson Laboratory for 11 years. And she said, what years were those? And I told her. And she said, we overlapped. She was in one of my bioinformatics workshops. So we actually encountered each other. And that turns out, because we knew each other, because we had that common experience at the Jackson Laboratory, we had this relationship that led us over the phone from the United States to Germany, let them license our patents. And she did that with confidence. So when she visited, this is the first time we've seen each other face to face since the Jackson Lab. And the collaboration is now very mature. And we talked about scientific collaboration that we're doing. So like, build those relationships wherever you are, because you never know when it's going to come back. And you'll find out that the diameter of social networks in your field is quite a bit smaller than you might think. So that's also what we're doing here at Million Cups. I like to think that maybe 5 years from now, somebody is going to have a big win and said, it started because I had this conversation at Million Cups. I'm sure that more than one person will be able to tell that story. So be one of those people. We'll see you next week.